Well, good morning. How's everybody out there in the audience?
I just got tired.
All right, I think we're ready. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the library preliminary budget meeting. We're going to get our meeting started this morning with an invocation and pledge allegiance. Is there anybody that would like to volunteer for the invocation this morning in the audience? All right, don't make me pick. Please come forward. Here you go. All right, Commissioner Finnegan, I'm going to pick on you then. Okay. You can do the invocation, and then I will do the pledge.
That doesn't work. Miles, it doesn't work.
Here you go. This one.
Okay, nothing works. Bow your heads, please. Father in heaven, thank you for this day that you've blessed us with. Thank you for every person that has showed up that has some deep concern about our community, and we're all working together to try to develop these budgets today and do the best for our citizens. I pray that you guide us with patience and grace, that we listen to one another, that we come to a place of understanding together to do what's best for our citizens. I pray that you be with each and every one here and guide us throughout this day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Would you join us for the pledge, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, could you do the roll call, please?
This is a preliminary budget hearing of the governing body of the Special Library District of Citrus County, this 23rd day of July, 2025. In attendance are City of Inverness Council Member Crystal Lazanik, City of Crystal River Council Member Gabrielle Satchel, Chair Rebecca Bays, First Vice Chair Diana Finnegan, Second Vice Chair Jana Barrick, Commissioner Jeff Kennard, Commissioner Holly Davis, County Administrator Steve Howard, and Department of Management and Budget Director Tammy Wilson.
Thank you. Next on our agenda this morning is the approval of the minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Kennard. I have a second by Commissioner Bays. Is there any board comment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next on our agenda this morning is the library preliminary budget hearing, and Ms. Tammy Wilson, welcome aboard. We'll discuss the millage rate.
Thank you. This is to defer the setting the millage to the board from the Special Library District. And I don't know, Mr. Chang would like to come up to answer any questions?
I guess so. Are we going to discuss the budget? I mean, like as it's presented?
This piece is just to defer voting on the millage, moving it to the board from the Library District. It will be part of voting on the millage
Okay.
at a later date when we vote on all the millages.
Okay.
Any questions?
I don't know that I have a question, Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, please.
Everyone's concerned about every budget, not just yours, so you're just starting out first. Actually, we had another meeting that we talked some budget stuff, but here's what I noticed. The difference between last year actual, what was spent, and what is proposed, which this budget book, we had a correction, is now all just shy of 5.6 million. That's a difference of $1,062,837. So my concern is when we're having these budget meetings coming up and taxpayers are not happy, and at the other meetings I will point out how much extra money has been taxed from our citizens over the last few years. It's a staggering amount. So you weren't in that meeting. Like I had said once already this morning, it's very difficult. Today's going to be difficult because whatever you say about money, if you don't want to give someone a full yes, people automatically assume you don't care about the library, you don't care about fire, you don't care about IT, you don't care about animals, you don't care about the sheriff, you don't care about whoever's talking about it, and that just isn't true. We have to also have care and concern for our taxpayers. Libraries have changed, and I realize that our library staff has done well to keep up with the changing. You know, it's a lot of more web-based now maybe than book-based. When I used to go as a kid to the library, it was an absolute necessity because if we had book reports or needed to read a book, or even if you read for pleasure, you had to go to the library. It wasn't easy to get to a bookstore. There was no such thing as Amazon or even the internet, dating me a little bit. So I just don't see how from last year actual to now that I can tell the taxpayers that it's okay for us to get another over $1 million from them. So for this library budget, I would want to roll this millage back. I don't think that we need to increase the library budget by that amount. I know I had asked some questions. I've gotten some emails about the number of books each month that was discussed before. Some people are not happy with that. That's so many books, and people aren't vetting the books. I asked about that, like how can you get so many in a month? Like you can't fill a library. And they were like, well, you get a bestseller and you need so many in every library. Is that correct? And then you get rid of them, which I don't know if we get rid of them. Do you sell them? Like, how do we recoup that money?
So as far as when you say get rid of them, yes, after a certain point of time, the demand dies down for those books. So for a bestseller, there may be a wait list of around 100 and 150 people for that particular title. So we buy a number of copies to speed up that process so they're not waiting a year or 2 years to read that book. We try to lower that as best as we can, still managing the collection. Once those books have been in our collection and the demand has died down, we do several things happen with those books. We will sometimes return them back to a vendor that we have that does something called sustainable shelves, where they're able to give us a credit for those books. So we do get some money back for those. Sometimes our friends of our library will sell those books in their book sales. But if the condition is too bad for those books or there's no sale there, then we do discard those books. but quite a few of them go to sustainable shelves, or our friends at the library are selling those books.
I don't know what the board will decide, but I feel like, and it's not that, I don't care about the library, I don't think it's important. I just think an extra $1 million from what was actually spent last year, I do believe I'm going to ask the board to roll this back. Thank you for helping me answer the questions.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Kennard.
I'd like to make a motion that this board deter the millage rate and budget discussion to the Board of County Commissioners at our meeting that begins at 9 o'clock in discussions with our overall budget.
Second?
So I have, well, I think it's just a consensus. It's not really a vote.
Well,
I think there's a vote, motion made by,
So the way my agenda is, okay. Well, then I think, I'm confused by my agenda here because it makes it look like we opened it up to the public prior to that. As a motion. Okay. So I have a motion by Commissioner Kennard and a second by Commissioner Finnegan. We are now going to open this up to the public. Anyone wishing to address the library board preliminary budget, please come forward.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
it would be about this specific motion of this board deferring to the Board of County Commissioners, correct? Specific to that and not necessarily
Yes.
the overall budget.
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Davis.
why do we have our city colleagues up here, other than a legal request to ask them to leave it in our hands? Shouldn't we ask their opinion? No?
I was just wondering the exact same thing.
To respect our city colleagues and their time to be here, it would be nice to get their opinion on things.
Well, I have Inverness to my right and Crystal River to my left. Would either of you like to weigh in?
I guess
Pardon me?
not at this time. I appreciate the opportunity, but this is my first meeting, so I would like to just observe.
Well, we're going to be deferring this to the full board, so do you have any input on it? Because after this, we'll close it, and then the budget will just come back to the Board of County Commissioners.
That's fine.
Okay.
I would just like to know what would be the benefit just to defer it to y'all? Like, what is is it just to more streamline it, or?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Kennard.
Be happy to respond. I have no doubt that there's going to be some direction from this board or from the Board of County Commissioners to make some reductions, whether or not it's in specific departments or across the board. And having the overall library budget in that discussion will facilitate making some of those cuts, whether those cuts are made at this meeting or at the next budget meeting. Having this overall library budget in with that larger discussion will help.
To kind of help to help kind of streamline the full discussion over the whole county budget, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Commissioner Finnegan.
The reason I second it more so we could talk about it for Commissioner Kennard is I understand what he was trying to do. So this board would be important for direction, to say, no, hold and fast, or yes, I think there's some room here to bring that down. And then when the whole board looks at the entire budget, then we could see, in dollars, and that would probably give time to look at a rollback too, to see how the whole board, because, we're gonna be responsible for the entire tax bill, and this is just one small point. So I think that for the cities to have say in how that moves forward is important, but I can understand where Commissioner Kennard was coming from, that we have a very big discussion ahead of us, and this is going to be one part of it.
Got you. I'm sorry. I just, with the amount of books that are needing to be reviewed, I mean, there has to be a cost associated with that. Am I wrong in that, Adam?
Andy, could you come forward, please?
So for the, when you say books that are being reviewed, can you clarify that a little bit more?
So with the, like, when people are saying, like, they think a book is,
Okay, yeah, I think I'm following you, yes.
Yeah.
So if there's a request for reconsideration, there is a cost to that, but it's staff time, which is already, staff are already working at the, so it's not really a added time. It just means that perhaps some of the work that they would be doing is deferred because they're doing those reviews instead. Does that kind of help?
yeah. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Davis.
you did not spend nearly what you were allocated last year. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Some of that increase of that number is our reserve and cash carry forward. So I don't know that's necessarily not, I heard the number 5.6 million, but I don't have that in my notes. So I don't think it's a case that we didn't spend what was actually fully allocated. There is some of that is, again, just in that reserve or cash carry forward that we wouldn't necessarily spend unless we need to dip into those reserves or things like that.
And is this the same millage as you had last year?
It is, yes.
Okay. I poured over everything and I could not find the millage rate, so my apologies if it was in there. I'm a little torn here because from an overall 30,000-foot view as a business person, I understand that predictability is very much wanted by both businesses and individuals. They don't like things to be jerked up and down because it really screws up things. That being said, we do have historic inflation right now. So I am worried about burdening the taxpayers. But then like I said, I'm torn. I'm flipping flopping right here. But then I also realize that we still have something like 24% plus of our children are in abject poverty and over 80% free and reduced lunch. And libraries are a way out of that. The more we feed their brain and get them engaged, the better. And you obviously do a lot of outreach services for those children. Secondly, based on my research and some of the things that I've looked into, I do realize that libraries are way more than books. And if we're future thinking, there's a lot of really cool things that our library system could do to even greater earn their keep with citizens. Like I understand some library systems have, tool loans and things like that. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that a well-funded library system can do that is incredibly cost-effective for the resident tax dollar. So those are all the things that are roaming around in my brain, but the main thing is I wanted to know why the difference in the budget last year, and I wanted to confirm that you're looking for the same millage. So yes. I don't know where I'm going to go with this, but those are just my thoughts for everyone else to ponder on as well.
Madam Chair. Commissioner Finnegan?
You said you didn't know where the 5.6, because when we got our budget, just to help you understand, under current ad valorem taxes, it was printed $5,074,321, but we had a correction made that said that number wasn't, or excuse me, they printed $14,430, and then the correction was made to $5,074,321. So when you add that to the overall total at the bottom total on the budget was incorrect at basically 5.5 million. Well, it was 5,537,189, and when you add in that difference, it's $5,597,080. So 5,597,000 is just shy of 5.6 million. And then when you look at your last year actual, it was 4,534,243. That is the difference of $1 million. To Commissioner Davis's point, yes, the library is so helpful and all of that. And we ran, you did a very fine job at $4.5 million. and kept all the important programs in play. I just don't see the need for the taxpayers to throw another $1 million on top of that.
Commissioner Finnegan.
Madam Chair,
Wait,
I just wanted to do a little clarification. For 23-24, it was the 4.3, but what they're projecting to spend for 24-25 is the $5 million, and it doesn't include the reserve. So it's, you know, $500,000 or $700,000 more. I just wanted to make sure.
No, I understand that from a budget perspective, because keeping the millage the same last year also gave an increase. But we're just going by what's needed. So yes, every time the millage stays the same, you're getting the growth. And I think in some areas, when we grow, fire's a good example, sheriff's office is a good example, EMS, you know, a lot of things, building is a good example. But our libraries, I think that you're getting the benefit of a lot more money. And I don't know that your programs are bursting out the seams with growth. I know that probably just hit a nerve with you. But we have to make some very tough decisions. That's $1 million. That's a lot of money to people sitting out there. We're going to discuss a lot bigger numbers coming up here in the morning. Everyone's going to have to take a little slice, and including, unfortunately, the library. It's not everything today. If I say, hey, you need to defend a position, or I may recommend a cut, I think it's important. It's not that I don't think it's important, but the problem is government never gets smaller. It never does. We say, oh, we're going to be fiscally prudent or conservative in our budget, but we're not. If something is added, we have this special need, we need to add it to the budget. It's never taken away. It's just put in a new spot. And after a while, it's bursting at the seams, and then the average citizen, they're hurting. So I do understand all these wonderful programs, and it helps children in poverty, and we do all these things, but we don't want to tax people to put more people in poverty either. So we really need to have a balance.
Madam Chair.
I've got Commissioner Barrick down here.
okay, I'd like to get off the sidetrack and get back to the motion that is on the floor.
Thank you.
And get on with our business instead of, if we're gonna do the discussion, fine. But at this point, it's supposed to be the public's giving their opinion on a motion that's on the floor.
I thought we were talking about what business I mean.
Welcome.
Good morning, Board. My name is John Labriola. I live in Inverness, and I'll just take the 3 minutes, but I'm not sure if I'll be cut off here because of the motion. But I just wanted to commend Commissioner Finnegan for trying to look out for, to make necessary cuts, not to defund anything, but we're just saying just be fiscally prudent. And she did mention the fact that we spent, we did spend $312,000 this last year to purchase 1,300 books per month. And that was the item that we feel like should be cut back because in the last few years.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
point of order, and I understand.
We're going back to the
where it's
All
at,
right,
motion.
that's fine.
But can
So-
we keep it germane to the motion that's on
I'll
the
just-
floor
I'll
to
go back to the
defer to the
motion,
Board of
right.
County Commissioners?
So thank you for deferring it. I'll come back
Thank
with
you.
my concerns. Thanks.
Anyone else? This is about deferring the motion until we go to the budget. Yes, at the regular board, at the regular meeting, yes. Yes. All right, if nothing else, we're going to close open to the public. We do have a motion on the floor by Kennard and a second by Commissioner Finnegan. If there's no further board comments, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Chair, I have a question regarding your first motion for the minutes. There are no minutes attached to this agenda.
There might have been a previous library district meeting, so I'm,
But we have nothing attached.
Okay.
I guess that was my confusion about this agenda
all right,
item.
so that's.
So I don't know if you want to do a motion to reconsider to reverse that motion.
I think that would be prudent. because we have no backup to approve here. So I have the motion by Commissioner Kennard and a second by Commissioner Barrick. Would you reconsider your motion to,
Yes.
Yes.
all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Wow. That was a mess. All right. That concludes this. Thank you, both of our city council members from Inverness and Crystal River for attending. So thank you very much. We appreciate you being here. All right. On to the next. We are, oh, I'm adjourned. Sorry. Oof.